Yo, what is going on, you guys? This is Gaming with Sal and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I want to go ahead and show you guys what a no specialist playlist looks like here in Black Ops 4. Now, don't worry, I know some of you guys are probably wondering, what is this guy even talking about? Treyarch never put such a playlist in the game at all this past few weeks, and not even that, they haven't even confirmed that they're going to even make such a mode or teased us with any sort of news that suggests this is actually going to happen. So how can you even show us what a no specialist playlist even looks like? And the answer to that question, you guys, is custom games. What I basically went ahead and did is I jumped into custom games, messed around with a couple of settings in there, and basically created my own version of what a no specialist playlist could possibly look like. So therefore, whatever I'm about to show you in this video or talk about in this video could have been done better, especially if Treyarch went ahead and designed and actually made this playlist themselves. But of course, I'm only here as a normal player trying to work with whatever he has that he can use within custom games. So basically, in short, I tried my best with what I could work with, and this is what I came up with. So the first thing I went ahead and did was jump into the settings within custom games and went under the specialist settings and disabled the specialist weaponry and equipment. The next thing I did after that was go into the health settings and changed my health from 150 down to 125, as well as changed my regeneration speed for my health to faster from normal. So the main reason why I went ahead and made these changes within the settings is because, one, when it comes down to specialist weaponry, of course, that basically doesn't allow players to be able to use their barricades if they're using Torque or Prophet's like Tempest or Ruin's Grav Slam, etc. And then the equipment I disabled, of course, because we don't want, people flying all over the place with like grappling hooks or planting random tac deploy beacons down or anything like that, right? Now, the only thing is that whenever you disable equipment, you disable all equipment. So that includes the frag grenades, the concussion grenades, all that kind of stuff, which I don't understand why they put all of those things and the specialist issue equipment under one equipment setting. I feel like that they should have like separated that so that players who want to just use the regular equipment within custom games can and not have to worry about the specialist issue equipment. But oh well, I guess that's something that Treyarch didn't really look into. So yeah, unfortunately, I had to go ahead and disable all equipment for that reason. Now, of course, the one thing you guys can do that's better than what I did was actually invite some of your friends into this lobby. And if you have like 9 other friends or even maybe 7 other friends, start a game of free-for-all or team deathmatch or whatever you want to play, and basically have a common agreement that no one is going to be using the specialist issue equipment. Everyone's going to be playing with a specific equipment that's like the frag grenade or the concussion grenade or the trophy system, whatever you want to use. You can only use that, and no one's going to touch the specialist issue equipment. So if you guys can have like that common agreement, then maybe you guys can, do one thing better than what I did. But since I don't have that many people that I know of that are available at the same time and are interested in doing something like this, I went ahead and just played against bots. So that's why I disabled my equipment. Now, when it comes down to the health at 125, there are 2 reasons why I did this. One is because a lot of people at one point in the beginning of Black Ops 4's life cycle, especially the ones who didn't like 150 health at all, were suggesting we can bring that down to even 125 and they would be happy with that. So I wanted to go ahead and see how that would feel in a game like this. And I know that the weapons are all designed around 150 health, and the way that they inflict damage on their opponents and stuff like that are based off of that 150 health, but I still wanted to go ahead and see how it would feel if we put it at 125. And the second reason is because when I decided to test this out a long time ago, 125 health actually felt pretty nice. It reminded me of Black Ops 1 time to kill. So a lot of you old school fans out there, if you really liked that BO1 time to kill, 125 health was really close to what that felt like back in the day. Now, of course, like I said, with all of these settings, I could have made a lot of different errors and maybe could have done things better. But if you really want to go ahead and get into like the very tiny details of what actually feels like the Black Ops 1 time to kill, you can go ahead and mess with the settings and the health, maybe change it to 130, 115, 110, I don't know, whatever the case might be. Go ahead and feel free to change that to whatever you guys want that would meet your needs. Now, when it comes to the regeneration health speed, I changed it to faster because if you guys notice, there's no auto regen health system within Black Ops 4. So in order to compensate for how long the auto regen health time usually is, I went ahead and changed the health regeneration speed in this game to faster, because there's always that slight delay between each of those health shots you inject yourself with that you gotta wait for. So if I went ahead and changed my regeneration speed to faster, it kind of compensates for the time that I have to wait before I can inject myself again, thus making it as closely as possible to the speed of an auto regen health system. I know that probably confused a lot of you guys out there, but I hope that some of you guys got that and that I was able to explain that pretty well enough. But for those of you guys who didn't get that, just know that it made the experience a little bit more better. Now, finally, time for the big question. Is this no specialist playlist actually enjoyable? Will this actually make players happy, and should it actually come to the multiplayer at some point in time from the hands of Treyarch? And my answer to all of those questions is a big fat yes. guys, this game mode or playlist that I created within custom games was actually really fun. And of course, even though I was playing against bots, it could have been better, but just the idea of knowing that I can run down a hallway and not have to worry about a random razor wire on the ground, or a seeker drone coming out of nowhere and shocking me, or, you know, like a dog randomly chasing me down the corner of the map, you know, I don't know. But the point is, it felt great to know that I can escape all of these different specialists, weaponry, and equipment, because they're simply just not in the game during that playlist. So I really feel like that Treyarch really needs to try this out and bring it to Black Ops 4. I don't understand why it would be a hard thing or something that they couldn't do, because it's really not that hard to do, especially if someone like me, a random player, can go into custom games and just mess around with a couple of settings and create a mode like this. They can do it within a heartbeat. So I really feel like that they need to go ahead and test the waters with this mode and let the players actually give the feedback of what they think. But of course, with all my videos and just the way I like to present ideas like this, I gotta look at things from the other side, which aka is Treyarch's side. And I feel like the main reason why they probably don't want to bring a no specialist playlist to Black Ops 4 is because when it comes down to it, specialists are a huge focus when it comes to this game. I mean, we have the specialist stories in which these guys all have their own background stories and just little cutscenes and pieces to how they can all fit under the entire Black Ops storyline. And on top of that, we have different game modes and just the way some of these maps are designed, and the way that they designed this game overall focuses on the specialists being able to use their abilities to enhance the gameplay experience. Of course, a lot of people can argue and say that it doesn't really enhance anything at all. If anything, they're just annoying. But the point is, we don't know if they have any more plans for specialists in the future in terms of adding more to the specialist storyline, or maybe, you know, bringing more specialists to the game and stuff like that. So when it comes down to it, since specialists are so much of a focus here in Black Ops 4, to bring a no specialist playlist kind of takes away the idea from that, and it also kind of like maybe hurts them in a way where they're probably looking at a situation where they're like, you know what, we tried adding something new to the game to make it a little bit more different than past Black Ops titles, but it was a change that people really didn't like. So at the end of the day, they probably feel too proud of their specialists and don't want to remove them for that reason. But once again, these aren't excuses for them. These are just reasons that I think that might be going through their head to not create a mode like this or a playlist like this, or maybe simply they don't have the time right now because they're planning on doing other things later on. And who knows, maybe they could end up bringing this playlist at some point in the future, because of course, when it comes down to Call of Duty and Treyarch themselves, you can never say never. So we'll just have to see what ends up happening in terms of the part of Treyarch. But if they never go ahead and bring this game mode ever to the game, then I feel like that is a huge missed opportunity, especially because they're trying to create Black Ops 4 to be the game that kind of pays homage to the entire Black Ops franchise. So in a way, if they don't bring this playlist back, or even a throwback playlist of some sort, I would be personally disappointed, and a lot of people would be as well. But at the end of the day, you guys, my overall impressions, like I said, it was amazing. It felt like I was playing Black Ops 1 but remastered, especially on maps like Slums and Firing Range, and even Nuketown, as you guys can see in the gameplay in the background. All of these maps felt fantastic. It reminded me of the OG Black Ops games. And you know what? Think about it, man. Like I said, I was playing on a map like Nuketown, and that felt so much more less chaotic, right? I know that made probably no sense in just the way I said it, but whatever, you guys get the point. This game mode felt amazing, and I guess the only criticism I have for it is that eventually a mode like this could also end up becoming a little bit boring if someone keeps playing it over and over again. So I guess the only thing I have to say for this is that if Treyarch ends up having a plan to make a playlist like this, or ends up doing it, I hope they do it in a way where it's like a weekend warfare type of playlist, right? Where maybe we see this playlist come back every weekend or every other weekend, so that we can still play Black Ops 4 the way it was meant to be played, but on the weekends we can have the option to go ahead and play like an old school or throwback version of the game as well. I feel like that would be a really cool idea and a pretty good way to kind of implement a playlist like this. But once again, that's just my opinion. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it back to you guys now. Would you guys like to see a no specialist playlist come from the hands of Treyarch after watching maybe the gameplay in the background or just hearing some of the points I made? Or would you guys rather have it be the way it is right now? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below if you guys want to go ahead and leave them. And with that said, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe, click the bell icon so you'll never miss an upload, and follow me on my social media accounts to stay connected. Links will always be in the description below, and I will go ahead and talk to you guys in the next one. So take care of yourselves, and bye.